Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and welcome to 3302. This is where I take a look at the news and happenings in and around Elite Dangerous. Today we're going to take a look at the new details for engineers. PAX South begins later this week, and of course there are also a number of community player run events to detail. Last week, Frontier's Dev Update provided some additional information on the upcoming engineers. Engineers are the NPCs that will enable players the ability to craft, or perhaps more specifically it would seem, allow players to modify weapons and modules. Initially, there will be just 30 engineers spread throughout human inhabited space. Engineers will be situated on planetary surfaces, which of course means that non-Horizons owners will not get access to them, and by extension this means those same players will be locked out of the crafting system, at least for now. Now, I may be wrong here, but I seem to remember Frontier saying, if not explicitly, then implicitly, that non-Horizons owners would still get access to crafting, but in a limited form due to many materials only being available on planets. However, a forum post questioning this was answered by Michael Brooks, confirming that crafting is indeed limited to Horizons only, at least to start with. Engineers will have reputation requirements, and it appears there are at least 2 levels to this. For example, an engineer may specialise in weapons and therefore require the player to have specific military rank. In addition to that, they will also have their own requirements. The player will need to meet both of these, and the requirements will be shown when interacting with the character. Now, whilst I reserve judgment to see the final version of this system, it feels to me that engineers will be locked behind yet another progression system, where players will have to fill up some type of bar to unlock access to them. My hope is that there will be at least some basic engineers that will have very low requirements, because ultimately crafting is potentially a major addition to the game in itself, and locking it behind progress bars would put it out of reach of many players. On a personal note, I have mentioned many times before that I'm not a fan of unlocks and filling bars, so putting crafting behind such a system would really turn me away from it. Of course, many other games out there have crafting systems, and usually they are tied to progress or tiers or levels or something like that. Often you improve crafting by working on crafting itself, so the more you do of it, the better you get at it. But from what little information we have at the moment, it would seem that Elite will take a slightly different approach. To access weapon modifications, for example, you may need to work on military rank. To access exploration modifications, you may need to improve your exploration rank. In principle, that idea sounds great, but ultimately I'm curious to see how it gets implemented. Fortunately, there will be no decay set on relationships with engineers. The update didn't talk about looting, but a brief answer on the forums mentioned that looting will work in a similar fashion to how it currently works in Horizons, except that some of the items will also be collectible in space. The dev update also mentioned that Frontier are aiming to release a small patch update this week containing a number of fixes. This week sees the start of PAX South, and Frontier will be at the show with Elite Dangerous. Although they have not mentioned any announcements for the show, they will be streaming from the floor. Also, Frontier will be featuring a number of Elite streamers, including Crass Kitty, Mr. Boombati, Angerbeard, and a number of others. As with other shows, Frontier will be offering a unique PAX South paint job, which can be collected from the show floor. Paint jobs should also be available during many of the live streams, so if you'd like one of them, it may well be worth popping along to a stream and watching it to see if there's a giveaway. There's a new Buckyball Racing event which starts today, the 25th of January, and lasts until the 12th of February. Slight late notice on this one, but I was only just become aware of it. The idea behind this race is slightly different to previous races. Starting from Canoa Horizons in the Turbo system, participants will race against the clock in an attempt to cover the greatest distance within 1 hour. The winner and runner-up will receive their choice of paint job from the Frontier store. For more details on this, check out the forum thread linked in a video description. The Crimson State Group are also running a player event. This one is backed by a player-written story, and the aim of the event is to discover a specific planet. There is a link below offering more details on this event, so if you're interested, do go check that out. For those of you looking to rank quickly in the Empire, Vindicator Jones has you covered with another one of his excellent videos. In this video, he shows how to quickly stack missions for base assaults and how these can quickly earn you a bunch of money, as well as some good ranking. Now, I've mentioned Vindicator Jones before. He really does produce some quality videos, really nice stuff, so it's worth having a look at this video I mentioned, as well as the rest of his channel. There's a whole load of goodness there. The Distant Worlds expedition is still ongoing, and there's been a lot of interest all around the Elite Dangerous community on that. It's a really excellent event. Exploration is one of the things I really do enjoy the most on Elite, but it's a very lonely activity usually, and I think the amount of distance covered and the fact that you often have to do it on your own puts many people off trying to explore. But it's quite different with exploring in a group, especially when there's so many people actually going along. Players are just about to reach Waypoint 4. In fact, they're going to get at Waypoint 4 this evening at 7 PM in game time, and that is located in the Eagle Nebula. Now, that is around about 7,000 light years away from Earth, but people do often ask if it's still okay to join along, and you can indeed do that. If you want to meet up tonight in the Eagle system, the Eagle Nebula rather, there is a specific planet and with specific coordinates that everyone is going to meet at. Again, that's at 7 PM in game time tonight. The coordinates and planet details are in the video description, and there's also a link to the Distant Worlds forum thread and the various announcements going on there. I've actually met up with a lot of different people on this event, and it's been a lot of fun going to all the different planets and all the different locations, seeing things that you just wouldn't normally get to see within human inhabited space. So definitely one of the best player events I've joined in for a very long time. So well done as always to Eramis and Dr. Kai for the fantastic event. Lastly, don't forget to check out the Pioneer Cooperative competition to colonize the stars. That's still ongoing, and there's quite a few entries already. Some of them are very nice, but if you think you can find an Earth-like out there, do head over to the thread and post your content or your entry. That brings us to the end of this episode of 3302 then. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time. Welcome to Exploring Elite Dangerous episode 41. Today we're doing something a little bit different, taking a step back from the other side of the galaxy and looking a little bit closer to home. This is the Orrery system. You saw me here a little while ago when I investigated the crash down at